Hey, my friends, my name is Hudson Warren, and I'm super excited to be here. I wish it were live and there was a schedule conflict and I wasn't going to miss your meeting. So you're getting recorded me, and I appreciate you taking the time and listening. The first thing that I want to do is I want to introduce myself so you know who you're listening to. I am an agent. That's the first thing you should know. I'm still active in the industry and I do what you do. I run a small team called the HomeWise team. I'm out of Tampa, and we are actually a small expansion team. We cover everything south of Ocala on the west coast of Florida. And last year, with five producing agents, we closed about 155 transactions for just under 1.5 million in GCI. So I am doing what you are doing. I'm going through the interesting market. Like, it's a very strange time. It has been for at least the past year. So I'm navigating that just like you are. One day it feels great. One day it feels weird. One day the market's great. One day we don't know what we're going to do. Like, I'm in that with you, and I want you to know that. I'm a maps coach. That's my favorite professional thing to do. I really, really love helping other people get what they want out of life and helping them get it quicker. And that's what I'm passionate about. I own a title company. I'm a former team leader. I'm a pretty avid real estate investor. I've got properties in three states currently and building on that. And I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I have six children at home. I live a really big, crazy, audacious life, and I am grateful for it, and I enjoy every minute of it. And I'm here to talk to what I would consider the heartbeat of our company today. And I know that gets said and it might sound funky, and yet it's important for me to understand truly that I'm grateful for you, for the fact that you've chosen to serve on the Agent Leadership Council, because I've been with this company since it was Keller Who. I joined back in 2006, and it's been a beautiful thing to watch, as we were the best training company and the first training company and the best tech real estate company and the first one and all of these things. And here's the reality, and I still think we're the best company, so don't misread what I'm saying. There's a lot of other companies who have caught up to us in ways. Like, there are other companies that have great training and culture and tech and all of that stuff. And I think what continues and will always continue to set us apart is this. It's you. It's the fact that we are an agent-led, agent-centric company. And that was proven in the last month or so as we've had some big changes that the ALC voted on. Gary didn't make it happen. The ALC made it happen. And so thank you for just being a part of that. And my goal today is more than anything for you guys to drop a pin and get you thinking. I want you to leave today totally clear on where you are. And and I know that might sound rudimentary. It's just that I know that we're in a very fast-paced business. We're in a fast-paced world. And I don't think we stop enough to see where we're at. And after all, how do we get where we're going if we don't know where we're starting? If you were to leave here after your ALC meeting and you're going to go on a vacation, you're going to get in your car and you're going somewhere you've never gone before. It might be 2 hours or 2 days away. I don't know. You've never been there. Now, if you're the most stubborn person in the room, which if I was there, it'd probably be me, so don't feel bad. Like, even you are going to put it in your GPS. You're going to go to your phone, go to Google, whatever you use, you're going to put it in your GPS. Well, what does your GPS have to do once you give it the address and hit go? The GPS has to figure out where you are. That amazing technology cannot get you where you desire to go if it doesn't know where you're starting from. And that's my goal today. It's just to give you a reality check, and not from I want to give you a reality check. I want you to have awareness. Awareness is key. Clarity is power, right? So all of you had goals for 2023. Some of them were written down, some of them were planned out, some of them lived in your head. And either way, you had business goals, you had personal goals, maybe health, wealth, relationship, whatever it is. You had goals for 2023. And what I'd like you to do, and I can't see it yet, your leadership will help lead. It's all good. Like, if you are on track to meet or exceed all of the goals that you set, not one, like, if you're on track to meet or exceed every single goal that you set for 2023, I want you to raise your hand. Okay, so I'm going to use my spidey sense because I've asked the question before. Maybe one, maybe two, depending on the size of your ALC, raised your hands. There's a good possibility that nobody raised their hands. I don't say that with judgment, I say it with experience. And by the way, I have no judgment on whether you raised your hand or not. Any question I ask you, really ever, definitely now, There's no right or wrong. There's no bad or good. It's just that we have to be clear on where we are and who we are if we intend to change that at any point in our lives. So I'm going to assume that there's people in the room who are not on track. Now, those of you, if anybody was on track to hit their goals, high five. I think it's amazing. That's a whole different conversation that I'd love to have with you. For those of you that aren't on track, the question to ask yourself is, do you want to change it? And not just do you want to change it for 2023, because while we are close to the end of the year, there's still time. The bigger question is, do you want to change it in your life? Do you want to get to a point where when you set a goal, you hit the goal? And because of that, I want to invite you to think about bold. Now, before we talk about that, I want to take it a step further. I've talked to your leadership. I know that your market is funky just like my market is, and lucky us, right? It is what it is. We can't control that. So despite the market being special, I'll call it, would you agree that there are people both in your area and all over the country that are going to have their best year ever in their real estate career? So I know you said yes, because you know that's happening, right? And would you agree that in 2024, even if the market stays as it is or gets what we perceive worse, will there still be people who have their best year ever? And I know you'll say yes. Well, why is that? And I can tell you, it comes down to performance. 2 years ago, your performance didn't matter that much. If you had a pulse, if you had a good reputation, which I bet you all do, then you had a lot of business. Now, it doesn't mean it was easy. You had to write a bunch of offers if they were buyers. Like, I get it. You had a lot of business regardless of your level of performance, regardless of your level of skill. We don't have that now. And who knows how long it'll be this way, right? We don't know. We don't have any control over that. So it's going to come down to how you perform. Your performance now directly dictates your life and your income. So what is performance? Well, performance is simply your potential, which, spoiler alert, it's unlimited, minus interference. And interference is, gosh, it's everything you just thought of, and it's so many other things. Interference is not properly educating yourself to the current market, not shifting the activities that you take. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold, I apologize. Interference is not having a great mindset. Interference is doing what you always did, expecting to get the same results in this market. So how do we have great performance? Well, our performance is directly connected to our relationship with possibility, excuse me. So what is your relationship with possibility? And currently, because here's the reality, and I'm in it with you, right? The market's weird. For a lot of us, our income's down, the business is down, the news isn't super positive right now. We're moving into an election year, and I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You know that that's not fun, right? It's tough right now to have a great relationship with possibility, and yet those who are having their best year have a wonderful relationship with possibility. So it's going to come down to your mindset, whether you like it or not. I know you're all smart. I know you're all educated. I know you're all talented. You wouldn't be on the ALC otherwise. When we're not in the right headspace, none of it matters. Take it from somebody who is like you. None of it matters. So here's the goal. My goal today is that all of you enroll in Bold. And I'll tell you why after I tell you kind of like a brief, like redacted version of my story with Bold, because I want you all to see the fact that you have so much more in front of you that you might not even realize. So I got into the business in 06, and I grew up in Southern California, and that's where I started. I was in Long Beach, California. The average price point was stupid high. And in my 20s, I could sell 10 houses, 15 houses. My best year ever, I sold 20 houses, and I would make six figures, and life was pretty simple. And I don't care, right? Like, I had no obligations. And I ended up in a long distance relationship. That's a whole different story. I moved from Long Beach, California to Fort Myers, Florida. Huge city to tiny city, tiny town, we'll call it, right? And I got to start over. It felt like having to start over. In retrospect, I know it was a good thing. And I went through 9 months of no sales. I blew through every dollar I had. I went into debt. The relationship was not all it was cracked up to be, and yet I was still with that person because guess what? I had moved across the country. And so everything was wrong in my life, or at least it felt that way. And I went to Bold because honestly, it was like that or go get a job. And after 8 or almost 9 years of being in the business, I was not employable. I could not have a boss. So I went to Bold and I was able to, it was an October Bold like yours. And I was able to create 7 closings before the end of the year. And it saved me from having to get a job and it renewed my, I don't know, belief that something more was out there. And I realized something really important in that Bold. I realized that so much of why I succeeded and did better was because of the environment that I was in. And I liken it to this. Any of you that have ever had a moment in your life where you're like, I've got to get in shape, right? You can join the gym and you may or may not go, or you'll go for a little bit and you'll stop, or you'll go and maybe do the right things, maybe not, right? Or you can go and join the gym and then also sign up for the trainer. And you know, even if you hate every minute of it, you know that you're going to get a better result because you added the coaching, you added the training, you added the accountability. And that's what Bold is. And it's certainly what it was for me. And so what I did is in a 5 year period, I went 15 times. And I know that might sound ridiculous to some of you. I totally get it. And guess what? It got me ridiculous results. You see, I sold 7 houses in 2014, excuse me. My best year ever prior was 20 houses. In 2017, I closed 111. And in 2019, I became a MAPS coach, which was a goal I didn't even know I had or was ever capable of, and it's changed my life. In 2019, I also was able to earn $1 million, over $1 million for the first time in my life. And here's the fun thing there. I only share that not for you to think any type of way about me. I have a high school diploma. That's the end of my education. And I come from a lower middle class family. So I've created this life and it's continued to grow. I got out of the bad relationship at some point, got married. I already told you I'm married with 6 kids. I didn't marry the demon, right? Like it's this beautiful, beautiful life that I've created that I didn't even know I was capable of. I've gone from one stream of kind of income, because for a while it was zero income, to 7 streams of income. And I've done it in a relatively short amount of time. And I'm continuing to build upon that. And it's all because I keep putting myself in the right environment. So my challenge to you is that if you are not on track for every goal, if you know your relationship with possibility is not what it used to be, or maybe not what it's ever been, and that you need to change that, then I'm going to ask for you to enroll in Bold. And that's the reason I want you to do it. I want you to do it for you. There is one more reason, and I'll tell you that in a minute. I want you to join Bold for you because you are not immune to the shift. Nobody is. You don't know when the next shift is coming or how long this one is going to take. And what I can tell you is that there's a misnomer about Bold, and I want to make sure you understand that it was created for top producing agents. It's literally what happened. In 2009, when 90% of our market centers were negative cash flow, Gary went to Diana Kokoska and said, save us. And she wrote a program directly aimed at top producing real estate agents in the company. And what happened was she turned it around. In 1 year time, when the market was still bad, 75% of the market centers were now profitable. And it was because the top agents were in Bold. It wasn't new agents, it was top agents. Because you, as a top agent, have so much more tied to your real estate business than the average producer, than the low producer. A 20%, 30%, 40% hit in income when you're already paycheck to paycheck, your life was already paycheck to paycheck. For you guys, it's a literal lifestyle change. And while I wouldn't wish it upon any of you, again, no one is immune to the shift. No one is immune to having to shift with the shifting market. So I want you to join Bold for you and only for you. And if that's not enough, or if you want a bonus, I'd like for you to do it for the betterment of the agents in your market center. Because what ALC members do not realize as much as they should is that you are being watched. And what I have seen many times in my career as a Bold coach work out so well for the market center is when the entire ALC does the right thing and invests in their growth and their future and decides to enroll in Bold and gets loud about it, talks about it at the team meeting, goes on social media. Your leadership talks about the fact that the entire ALC is taken Bold. You will see an influx of registrations, and the people who will sign up are the ones who actually want to grow and want to learn, not the people that leadership has to chase at the last minute to be in the room. That's not a fun Bold. An amazing Bold is one filled with top producers and people who desire to be top producers because the caliber of conversation changes. And I tell you, when you use your influence, because you have more of it than you realize, to get people into that Bold room, you are saving people's careers, you are saving their houses, you're saving their marriages, you're saving them. literally. Many of you have been in a place where you needed somebody to stand up for you. I know I have. And that's what you get to do when you all decide to enroll in Bold today. So that's my challenge. Now, your leadership will wrap this up, and they know the goal. The goal is to get all of you into the Bold room. And what I will promise you is that you will see passion and energy from me every single week. You will have a good time while also learning. And the minute you run that credit card and join Bold, I am your coach for life. That's how I see it. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to meet with you 10 hours a day every day. Like, that's not how that works. And you need something before Bold happens. You want to bounce ideas. You're struggling with something. You reach out to me. I'm your person. Between classes, I'm your person. After graduation, I'm your person. I've got your back. I will go all in with you as much as you would like. I am somebody who's doing what you do and is continuing to build as I know you desire to build. So sign up for Bold for you, sign up for your market center. And if you have any questions, your leadership has my contact information. Let's go. I can't wait to meet you in person. Sign up now. Don't leave that room without signing up.